What's up, everybody? Lacey back with another episode of Wild on the Rift, and today's episode will be episode 10 featuring special guest Kaisaya. And unfortunately, since we live in drastically different time zones, we found it really hard for us to record at the same time, so we recorded our segments separately. We do hope you enjoy the episode. Please listen to the information she has, it's very valuable, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Kaisaya from Manila, Philippines. I've been a mobile MOBA shoutcaster since 2017, and I used to play Arena of Valor professionally under Liab Esports Halia. Right now, I am more focused on League of Legends Wild Rift in terms of shoutcasting, content, competitive, team management, and building a community for the competitive market in Asia. I founded this Facebook group that has around 10k members of competitive teams and players that mainly focuses on finding scrimmages, sharing tournaments, and team and player recruitments. A year ago, I also founded a community organization called One Snap Esports that aims to provide aspiring professional players a professional level of management, character development, and guidance in preparation to getting acquired. It actually got a good history of sending teams and players to bigger organizations already, like Brand Esports, Next Play Esports, Team Secret, TR Esports Hellcats, and Sunsparks.
So, how's Wild Rift met or exceeded your expectations?
Wild Rift met my expectations in terms of providing us a more challenging mobile MOBA game available out there. As you know, as a competitive player, you want to go extra level. You want to challenge yourself. And having Wild Rift being available in the market was very satisfying for mobile players like me.
Talk about your current team or any casting opportunities that you have available to you, and what would you like to do?
For shoutcasting, I am currently lined up to be one of the shoutcasters of the Icon Series preseason and summer split for the Philippines. This is gonna be from this month of March until June, and man, I'm so excited about it. I'm just so excited about it. I've been following the teams, the players since competitive events started happening in Wild Rift, and I'm also very close to most of the players and the teams as well. So I guess providing some color commentaries during my cast will be quite a breeze for us. So yeah, it's just good to follow them and watch them progress and be successful in their careers. Alright, so as for my team, to be honest, I got stuck in a dilemma wherein I had to choose between going full-time team manager and apparently sacrificing my availability to cast and play competitively. So basically, to be specific, I got this offer from Sun Sparks. Well, they asked me, if I want to pursue going full-time manager, but it will require an office setup to become one if it's gonna be under them. So, but to be honest, I didn't really want to sacrifice the other things that I want to do in esports, like shoutcasting and playing competitively. I just love all these things. So it was a really heartbreaking no for me because, of course, the members of Sunsparks were my mentees back then from One Snap Esports.
The SCA region has a rich competitive landscape in mobile esports right now. So, do you feel like Wild Rift esports can be sustainable for the long run?
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Just like how League of Legends PC became sustainable, especially now that the mobile gaming market continues to boom for the past recent years. I'm pretty sure that the success trend will just continue to spike up, especially if we're talking about esports or competitive. And, this is also the new way for brands to market themselves too.
Have you been met or faced with any adversity from being a woman in esports? And if you have, how did you overcome that?
Yes, I did. Many times, actually. Specifically when I get up into ranking, some people will say that, I just got boosted or I just got, I got a pilot, something like that. And it's kind of sad. One time, very recently, I was playing ranked games in high elo in League of Legends Wild Rift. I received a comment in game asking me if it was really me playing. So I tried to confront that person too via social media because I really got annoyed and you just sometimes get those moments where you just can't take it anymore. People judging you or stereotyping you. So yes, I asked who this particular player was until I found out who he really was. In the end, he actually, we had a discussion. But in the end, he apologized because he just thought it was me playing. And he just basically apologized for stereotyping female players like me. Like us. Female players like us.
Do you feel the need for organizers to separate the tournaments between men and women as far as the brackets go, or do you feel like that shouldn't really matter?
So my answer will be there is no need to separate male and female teams in tournaments or events, but creating an extra space for all female teams is a good idea because these female players are in the minority of competitive player pool. Event specific for female competitive players will definitely be a great way to help boost the confidence of these female players because to really give them their highlight. Because let's admit this, most organizations would still prefer having men players in their roster than female players for many different reasons. While I am not against all female tournaments, I still highly encourage organizations as well to also be open to having female players in their lineup. But of course, us female players must also work hard in improving our skills and of course getting into rankings. So it's a two-way effort that must be done. So we must also do the same hard work that these men players are also putting into the table.
As someone who may inspire others to get into mobile esports, what kind of advice can you give to them when starting out?
Okay, so well, if you are just starting to find an opportunity in the competitive scene and do not have any connections to anyone as of yet, my advice will be to just grind to the top, get into the rankings, and so that it's gonna be the organizations that will try to contact you and find you.
What are your goals for Wild Rift?
My goals for Wild Rift include helping the community grow through active participation in the competitive scene, either by building and managing aspiring professional players and teams. I myself participating in tournaments as a player, gathering players or competitive players in one group to make it easy for them to find screams, teams, scout for players, etc. And at the same time, of course, I think the most important thing that I want to contribute to Wild Rift is to help nurture the community while it's still young by not promoting toxicity and sending reminders to players, at least those players that I can reach, especially those that I've handled or have been a part of One Snap Esports and the Scream group that I created, and send them the message that toxicity is not okay. Maybe banters will be okay, like especially it happens. I mean, fans versus fans, and friendly banters or may be okay, but toxicity is different, especially if things are getting personal and such. So yeah, part of my goal is to make sure as well I will contribute into making sure that the space or the community will be a safe space for everyone. Yeah.
Right now, any final thoughts and shout outs, you can go ahead and do those now.
First of all, of course, thank you so much, Kevin, for giving me this opportunity to speak up and share things about me and my journey here so far in League of Legends Wild Rift. Second of all, of course, thank you to my family for always supporting me in my endeavors, to my son as well, Shanrei, and also to my closest and trustworthy friends who have been with me through ups and downs, and also to my supporters who's been here on my side whichever game I transition to. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I love you, and this is just the start for League of Legends Wild Rift. For sure, there's more to come.